Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I opened up the first Valis collection a while ago, and this is a set of games I'd never played before, and I really kind of enjoyed them. So when the second Valis collection came out, I went ahead and ordered it, and like all things limited printed, you don't get it for quite a while, right? So today, we're going to be checking out Valis 2 collection. I guess it's the Phantasm Soldier. It's the second collection, basically. It's 4 games on here. So I'm going to open up this box, show you all what's inside, and like last time, we're going to check out the 4 games, and I'll let you know which ones I think are cool or which ones aren't so cool. Like I said, last time I was very pleasantly surprised. It's very fun. So let's go dig into these. Oh, and real quick before I start, if you like this shirt, I actually have not a video sponsor per se, but a new partnership with the channel, Into the AM. You might have heard of them, some ads I'm sure nowadays on YouTube popping up. Those guys reached out to me though, and they were like, hey, if you want, we can set up a partnership and shoot you a couple shirts, and you can use a code to get a discount. So I said, hey, why not? So I will say that the shirt itself, super comfortable. The hardest part was, like I said, they said I could have a couple shirts for free to check out if I liked them and to put them in a video or something. And the hardest thing for me, this is gonna sound crazy, is actually picking which shirts I wanted. I mean, obviously, my logo and stuff is very retro wave inspired, and man, they had some really, really cool designs. So picking 3 that I really liked was a little tough. But, like I said, I ended up picking up some shirts. I think they're super comfortable. If you're planning on buying shirts anyway, check them out. I'll have their link down below, and I'll have a code for a discount, which will actually really help out the channel. It supports the channel, so, check them out. If not, that's cool too. Anyway, on to the unboxing. So it's been a little while since I've gotten a limited run collector's edition in with a card. So this is one of their numbered titles, so it definitely came with a card. 261, this is a character obviously from the game. I don't know much about the series as a whole, so I'm sure those of you who are big fans are probably geeking out right now, but to me it's definitely a 90s, 80s, 90s anime schoolgirl. Looks like she's from Magical Knight Rayearth, to be honest. But here's the box. So it's soft cardboard, not chipboard, but you have kind of the chibi version on the side. That's the same character, obviously same art and everything on the back. It says it includes 4 games, Valis 4, which is the TurboGrafx version, Sid of Valis, which is the Genesis version, Valis the Phantasm Soldier, which is the Genesis version, along with a special edition of the game that started it all, Valis the Phantasm Soldier for the MSX. So that's pretty cool. It also says it has features like sound mode, visual mode, rewind. All this stuff was actually shown in the last video, so I imagine it's going to have the same quality of life features. So I probably won't go over that if that is the case in this video, but I mean, it's that's what they had last time. It's pretty convenient because some of these older games are a little bit harder. But let's check out what you get. Okay, there's actually like a lot of goodies in here. So we got the game and the goodies. Wowie zowie. All right, let's try to keep this organized. So all this stuff was underneath. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so in order, we have a pen, just like last time. I think this is like the crest of one of the bad guys. We have a keychain of the main character in chibi form. It's actually the same picture that was on the side of the box. We have a couple postcards. So this is these both look like original art, which is pretty cool. And then this one, which we've now seen this picture like 80 times now. It's all over the place. It's kind of the main deal. Put those aside. Let's put them up here. The poster. It looks like the poster is also that same picture on the one side. Which it is. And on the back, it's like a little chibi guy, chibi version. So that's fun. Fold this back up. The card, of course. So it looks like here, I'm not going to open this because these things are always a pain to make. But it looks like it's a bunch of the acrylic versions of the characters, like where you'd stand them with they have like the base. So it's a bunch of like acrylic standees. They've actually been throwing these a lot in to this, to limited run things, especially Japanese games. Really just a lot of collector's editions have had these acrylic things. I have said this before on the channel. Personally, I don't like these, like, at all. In fact, if it was like something to include in a collector's edition, in case you're new here, I'm always like soundtrack first and foremost, art book second, and preferably like hardback. But this is never on the list. You know, I also say like something neat, like these are neat, like a cool pen or like a weird keychain, like a cool doodad. But I do not like acrylic standees. So as far as a collector's edition thing, this is not too hype for me. In fact, I really wish there was a soundtrack in here instead. But let's check out the game itself, because I mean, a lot of you guys probably bought this for the game, if you bought it, that is. And if you did, you might have just bought the game. So getting just the game, you have, you know, the back art's cool, has the 4 games being shown. And yeah, just like the other one, has the manual. The reversible art is of that same picture that we've seen 1,000 times now, with no red spines. That's kind of a bummer. But let's look at the full color manual. It looks like it's really thin. So look, yep, each one's just kind of a one-pager on the game. It looks like it tells you a little bit about it when it came out, maybe a little bit of the plot. And that's the first 4 pages is for the 4 games. And then it looks like they have art for the other ones. So you have Cid of Valis. Yeah. So Cid of Valis looks like it's the chibi one. Valis 4, probably the main game, bread and butter on this, since the first 3 on the original. And then here's like the cool 2 versions of Valis Fantasm Soldier. So without further ado, let's just pop this in and kind of check it out. So just like the other game, it has a, you know, kind of standard menu that has all 4 games. You can go through, see the original, basically books for the games in both English and Japanese. It has the audio where you could go through and check out all the music. It has cutscenes where applicable. Pretty much everything you want in a cool collection, historically and otherwise. It has the staff credits, the special support. A lot of it is in Japanese, you know, and they have subtitles during the game, so that's equally cool. So Valis 4, being a TurboGrafx game, has like legit cinematics, kind of like what was on the first collection with 1, 2, and 3. The TurboGrafx versions, and they have, you know, fully voice acted. Of course, it's in Japanese with subtitles, but still very, very cool. The game itself really, really reminds me of Rondo of Blood, because you basically have 2 characters. The main character who uses the sword and everything, just like from the first 3 games, and then this other character that shoots kind of like the dove, which really, like I said, reminds me a lot of Rondo of Blood, Castlevania. Just like that, those games, the older games rather, you can go through and pick up power-ups, increase your magic, your HP, and all sorts of stuff like that. I will say it's kind of weird because the main character with the sword, like you think like maybe she'd be stronger, and that's the advantage of like the less range and the less mobility. I say that because the other character who shoots the doves has like a double jump, which is really good. But, you know, it's weird because I've noticed playing at least the first, like, 6 acts or whatever, or Act 1 through 1-6, and the first boss, that the dove shooting character, the other character, the sister, is actually stronger. So it's like she's stronger and has better mobility. You know, I don't know. Regardless, the game is good, has a good pacing, good flow. The controls feel very good. And overall enjoyable. The boss itself, very interesting, because when you get to the boss, you actually can't switch characters in the middle of it, which I thought was strange, because you could up until that point. But, I mean, you can use magic just like the other games, which is on like a recharge, and, you know, this boss was a little bit harder with the dove thing, because that's how I was playing that character, you know, when I started it. But once I got the little groove where you can kind of sit down and have that thing double hitting them, it went pretty quick. Overall, though, I really, really like this game. Just like in the first collection, I was a huge fan of the 3 TurboGrafx games, and this one really just kind of continues that trend. The second game, however, the chibi one, man, this game, at first I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. You have the little shooting ability straight up. I will say, like, you get, like, there's not much forward screen, so enemies are just, like, right there. I did not get very far in this game. In fact, I can soundly say I really did not enjoy this game, and that is because of the first boss. This is gonna sound wild, but you go to like the first boss, and it's this flying dragon thing, and with a gun, and it doesn't move until you go over to its side, so you can't hit it until you run over to it, and then it just flies away really fast and just shoots non-stop. And I'm not speeding anything up. Like, this is just what you're dealing with, and you die in like 2 seconds. At first I was like, maybe that's a fluke, maybe I messed up. So I went back through, and then funny enough, I learned that if you just hold the attack button and forward, you literally just beat the stage. So like, it's like the stage itself is incredibly easy, because you're just running forward and blasting. You know, got your heater on blast. But, you know, you get to that boss again, and lo and behold, he just freaking throttles you. And I'm not gonna lie, I spent all my lives, like I played a full continue, trying to at least beat this boss, and yeah, no, did not happen. Not too big a fan of this one. So now we have the Mega Drive version of the original Valis. You know, we had the TurboGrafx one on the other collection, and the only complaint I'm just gonna start with this, just the complaint, is that it feels slow. I mean, you can kind of do this little slide thing to get going, but it feels slow. And that is the end of the complaint section of this, because man, this game is pretty dope. I mean, I really like the one on the TurboGrafx, but you know, it's a little slow in the beginning, just like before, because you know, you only have the slash. But once you start getting the power-ups where you can shoot lasers out of your sword, and the third power-up, which I'll show a little bit later, you're like basically shooting a shotgun. It's insane. It's cool, but the big thing for this game for me is the soundtrack. Oh, this song is a jam. Every song is a jam, but like, you know, I've said this before, and it's kind of a hot take. Like, you know, I grew up in the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis era. I had the Super Nintendo. My good friend had the Sega Genesis. As far as music's concerned, though, and I will die on this hill, the Genesis has like the better sounds and like sound profiles. However, typically for me, like Nintendo has the better like composing. And you know, I will say that game to game, you know what I mean? Like there's some Sega games that have some dope composing to it. But like on the whole, you know, there's more Nintendo music feels more memorable to me, you know, more iconic. But man, like when the Genesis does it, they kill it, and this freaking soundtrack is amazing. Overall, this game is super cool, which is great, because the last game on this collection is the MSX version of this. And let me preface by saying, man, if you like this game, but you're also a really big fan of having a stroke, you're gonna love that game. Probably a little late for this seizure warning, but seizure warning, this is how the game starts. And oh man, it does not get much better from here. You can hardly tell what's happening. Hey, you know, I'll give it to the age of the game, but man, okay, so I died really quick. Not knowing what the hell's going on. I also didn't know what to do when I died. I was like, what do you press? What's F5? Apparently you just have to wait. So upon rebooting the game, I was like, okay, well this is just an Atari-ass version. I mean, it's the MSX, obviously, but it's a very weakened version of the original. I mean, this is, I guess, the original, but my god, this is just unplayable. The music is trash. You can't see the enemies because of the flicker, because of the, you know, MSX limitations, obviously. But kind of like that chibi game, essentially you can just hold the attack button and forward, and you are pretty good to go. The game itself, horrible. Can't recommend it. I would rather, you know, like eat burning trash. Like, this game sucks. But, you know, it's interesting, I guess. Interesting piece of history. You know, like I said, if you feel like having a stroke or a seizure, this is the game for you. It is nigh unplayable. I go really far. I'm not going to show you, like, all of what I did, because, like, honestly, it's quite tedious. It's just what you're seeing now, but a lot longer. But that's the thing, like, I got really far. I ran forward, like, I got all the way to this, like, kind of Subway-esque type system area. And, I tell you, never found a boss. Never found anything really cool. The game just kept being really horrible. You know, for its time, it was probably cool, like back in the 80s or whenever this was made. But as far as this collection is concerned, I would avoid this like the plague. But you know, 2 out of 4 isn't bad, and really, maybe I just need to get good on the chibi one, because I mean, like, you know, maybe when you get past the boss it's better, because besides that it was pretty fun, that first part of the level anyway. But the other 2 games are phenomenal. I do think that, you know, if you were to go, like, not with the special editions like I did, and just get these games, like, the idea of playing 1 through 4, the TurboGrafx games, those are all really great, and that Genesis port is also super cool. That's just my opinions, though. Let me know what you guys think down below, because these are a pretty cool set of games. So, what'd you guys think? I personally think it was very much like the first one in the sense that, you know, these are older games. So if you're not a fan of older games, you're not going to be into it. But, you know, pretty cool. I like these collections. You know, there's been very few compilation style collections in my collection. Gotta say that. That I was not a fan of, but this one is not on that list. Like I said, let me know down below what you guys thought about this collection. If it's something you own, something you were thinking about getting, let me know, and you know, we'll go from there. And that's gonna do it for today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. It'd be awesome. But as always, my friends, take it easy.